is a movie I knew nothing about. I just knew that Richard Linklater directed it and Ethan Hawke was in it. It was about to leave the theater, that it's been playing a little bit longer, so maybe it's trying to go for Oscar contention, but either way I wanted to check it out. You know, Ethan Hawke's having a great year because he was also in The Black Phone 2, eating scenery as The Return of the Grabber. So this one he plays Lorenz Hart, or Larry. He is a gay man who writes musicals, and he's watching Oklahoma with his mother, and he does not like it because he didn't write it with his longtime collaborator, Richard Rogers, or Dick Rogers, and Rogers is teamed up with Hammerstein to do Oklahoma, and it's I'm not sure if it's the opening night, but I think it might be the opening night of that theater in New York because they're waiting for all the reviews to come in, and basically he doesn't like it, so he's chilling in the bar talking to E.B. White, a bartender, and the piano player, and he's basically just waxing rhetoric. This whole movie is done in one location. It's all dialogue. It's just Lorenz Hart talking about this woman he met named Elizabeth, and this movie is actually based off of the letters that they wrote to each other. Elizabeth is a 20-year-old co-ed student played by Margaret Qualley. She's beautiful and super tall and blonde in this movie. That's definitely one of the reasons I want to watch the film. She's barely in the film though. She's only in the movie for about 20 minutes. So she is helping her mother with the stage play stuff. So he's talking about the time that they had like 6 months previous. He's in love with her. He buys her gifts. He wants to use her as a musical muse, and he starts talking about his he's got alcohol addiction, so he's trying not to drink, but he keeps sneaking shots throughout the night, and he's mostly talking to the bartender and the piano player and E.B. White about how he doesn't like Oklahoma. It's a rough night for him because he's like on the outside. He's definitely also facing maybe some mental health issues too. He's a very eccentric. He's a genius, and he's written maybe 1,000 songs and like many plays with Rogers, but he's basically has to just sort of sit on the sideline and pretend he loves it. So when the play finishes, or the musical finishes, he's got to talk with all of them and pretend that he loves it, and he gets to rub shoulders with his old buddy, and he's got an idea for a new story that he wants to do, and he wants to like get back in the saddle. And then he's also got to talk to Hammerstein, and there's other characters that he talks with, and then he finally gets his little catch up with Elizabeth. So this is all done in one location, so it's all very absorbing. It's dialogue based. You get a lot of story. It's basically like a dramedy about Lorenz, and he's like not 100% gay because he loves Elizabeth and he wants her, and he's been pining over her for a while now, and it's like a man on the last wire trying to just get back that golden glory. And even though I don't know anything about him, I know Rogers and Hammerstein. If you know what The Sound of Music is, that was written by Rogers and Hammerstein. So I think everyone knows who they are, and didn't know too much about Lorenz Hart, but just, whenever he sings a song, you just sort of have to just take the, the meaning of the scene or whatever. You just sort of have to go with it. A lot of characters in this movie have never heard of him, and they go like, I don't know you, and he should be more famous than he thinks he is. But that's what happens sometimes. You sort of get a little bit too overconfident. And honestly, a really good performance by Ethan Hawke. He comes alive. He transforms into this sort of nebbish kind of like talky sort of eccentric sort of bon vivant who's always like talking and saying this and saying like, oh, I can't wait to tell you about that time I had with Elizabeth, or like musicals nowadays they don't have this. We need to satirize things, and he's very larger than life, and people seem to sort of accept him because he is a genius, like his old pal Rogers. They have a couple of intimate talks near the end, and then one with Elizabeth as well, but then you sort of see the writing on the walls of where his career is sort of going. I didn't know much about him, but this movie was very enjoyable. I like the conversations, I like the dialogue, all the acting's pretty good. You get some solid support staff from Bobby Cannavale and Andrew Scott and Margaret Qualley, so overall pretty solid. I give Blue Moon a 7 out of 10.